Welcome everybody to the team call tonight. My name is Chelsea Gonzalez. I'm a regional integrated director, and we're really glad that you have you on the call, or if you're watching the recording. Tonight we're going to be doing a slightly different format, as you can probably see on the screen, that we will be going over some things that you'll be able to see on the video. And with that, the upcoming events will be the second Saturday in November. We have a training and presentation for all of your friends, pre-clients, clients on Saturday. I think it's November 8th, if I'm thinking right. And it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mark your calendars, because the last training we just did was really, really, really awesome. And it was just fantastic. It was a lot of fun. And so we'd love to have you there next time. And with that, I'm going to pass it off and introduce Judy, your Global Director.
Well, thanks, Chelsea. I'm really excited because a lot of momentum is happening in Take Shape for Life right now. And the things we're going to talk about tonight are going to be some things that will help you kind of evaluate yourself of how simple you're keeping this business, how effective the hours you're putting into this business are, and also what are those hours looking like for you? And also really revisiting why you became a Take Shape for Life health coach. As time goes on, when we achieve those goals, if we don't have something out in front of us that is truly our burning desire, we call it our burning baby. And there's a story behind that. If you walked across a plank on the ground, you're not scared. But you put that same plank in between two high-rise buildings, and you're like, oh my God, no way am I going to do that. But if your baby was on the other building and the building was on fire, you would run across that plank. And that's what we want to look for when we're looking for our reason why. Remind me again why you became a health coach. And we're going to do that little exercise on the call tonight. Just be thinking about what your why is, because we're going to open it up and let everybody really explore why it is you're doing this. And what's your burning baby? Maybe it's not the right terminology here in this season to be using that. So we'll just say, what is your burning desire? Okay, so with that, Chelsea, I'm going to open it up to you and let you go ahead and talk about what we have on the screen here tonight. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. So for those of you that have not taken a look at the ebook, I wanted to definitely bring your attention to I think it's page 20, which is the page I'm on right now. Because background story, when we were at convention, Matt and I and Dr. Anderson got to mentor together. And the day before our appointment with him, he said, okay, open up that ebook and take this evaluation before our appointment. And we're like, oh, okay. And the ebook had literally just been released that week. So we got into it, we got our scores, we met with him, and then we went over our scores. And what was really neat was at Sundance, Dr. Anderson brought this screen up to everybody that was there and said, okay, we're going to do this right now. And we literally went through and scored ourselves again. Well, Matt and I did it again. A lot of people in the room haven't taken this. So the reason Dr. Anderson brought this up to us is if you are not using this with your discussion with your clients, or maybe just a pre-client that is just getting the ebook because they're not quite ready yet, this ebook was designed to help them figure out their current reality and start the conversation piece for figuring out what their burning desires are in their life. So I'm just going to go through this quick because we have a short period of time, and I wanted to let everybody kind of share, like Julie had said. So we're not going to go through it right now, but this goes over your physical health, talks about your weight status, eating habits, physical activity, sleeping, relaxation, and your work, home, and play, safe and healthy environment. And you score yourself between a 1 and 10, and then you total the score. The second category is your mental health. And I'm reading this out loud because there are some people on the phone. With your mental health, you score your relationships, your attitude at work, meaning and purpose in your life, spiritual time, community service, and hobbies and fun between 1 and 10, and you total that score and put it at the bottom. And the third category is your financial health. And those categories would be abundance. Do you have abundance? Do you have resources to minimize stress in your life? Do you have money management? Do you have money to do what you want to do? Do you have resources to create memories and experiences? And do you have money to communicate, contribute to your community in whatever fashion that looks like for you? So rating yourself there. And then on the last page, you put all your different scores and you come up with a total cumulative score. And this score is important. And so when you're working with a client, we look at this and then I notice, okay, well, their financial health is really poor. Maybe their physical health is coming up because they're on program. Maybe their mental health is improving, but maybe their financial health is really low. And we know that that impacts the mental and the physical. So it's just a fantastic tool to help people move to the next step. Julie, did I explain that good, or do you have anything to add?
Well, I think down below that, if you scroll up a little bit on how you're doing, just reading that paragraph right here really tells you how important this is. Your score gives you a good idea of how you are currently running your life, whether you're failing, poor, surviving, above average, thriving, or optimal. And our well-being is a great measure of how we're doing in terms of the quality of our life. If it needs improvement and you want to do something about it, you've come to the right place, and you can have this, like you said, have this conversation with your pre-client, your pre-coach, your coach, and your clients. Mm-hmm. And if you've been operating mindlessly and have allowed your short-term desires to dictate your daily lifestyle, we can help you choose a different path. And on that path, you'll build the currency of your life that around what matters most to you. So it allows you to thrive instead of just survive in your life. And this is important because it is the underlying basis of what we do with Take Shape for Life. Mm-hmm. And that's why doing this evaluation to begin with. And then I know anyone on the call, or if you're listening to the recording, you're probably starting to kind of see a theme of, okay, where am I really in this? And then it helps move you towards what it is you really want. Like it says just down below here, optimal health's really about organizing your life around the key areas that we've identified, empowering you to create well-being and making sure that your daily choices support those long-term objectives, which is not always what we do in our life. And if we're reminded to not be mindless, but be mindful and really pay attention about what's going on. And it's a journey for all of us. And but you start building that process that'll construct a new pathway to guide you on your journey to optimal health. So I think this is a really, really great tool to begin to move into the stop, challenge yourself, and choose the outcome that's going to best support your long-term goals. And so with that, it's a huge aspect in all areas of your life. Tonight, we're going to specifically talk about your health coaching practice and what that looks like in this arena. Are you disciplining yourself to put in the hours that, let's face facts, if you want to assist many to health, if you want to grow your business, the hours are flexible, but they're not optional. And so you're going to actually have to do the work. And if you love the work, it's great. And so to love the work, we need to get it out in front of us of what it is we really want. And it helps you to see how that fits into your overall well-being. For me, and I'll just start, for me, my big why is to have that fulfillment of being a humanitarian in the world, to leave a legacy, to do something that really, really matters in the world, that changes people's lives, to have time freedom and financial freedom so that my family that matters so much to me, which also, by the way, includes my health coach family, I have time and money to spend with them, and to ultimately become a better me and hold myself accountable, because I know my personality, I'm a big fun time and I could spin out of control if I didn't have something grounding me and reminding myself of what really matters to me. And, when I lose track of those things, I have to really, like right now, just like I tell my clients, when I'm coaching them, I'm also coaching myself. I'm telling this to myself too. So this is a great exercise for me to say again, I am a humanitarian. I'm peaceful. I'm fully engaged in the miracle of each new day. And the fulfillment I feel from Take Shape for Life is, without doubt, nothing I could ever measure anything else up to, because I know the big, huge difference that we're making in so many people's lives. Mm-hmm. So anybody, Matt and Chelsea, would you like to go next individually?
Yeah, I was actually asked this question by Jeff Jolly, who we carpooled with down to Sundance. And it helped remind me of what I was creating. And sometimes that does get lost when we're busy, right? So what I told him was, I said, what I want in my life is to have no worries about money, but have the ability to just give it away. And what I mean by that is, I'll give a great example. Matt's parents had to redo their septic tank recently. And I think of Brian Jollinger when his dad was sick and he flew his whole family down to see them. That's the kind of flexibility I want when it comes to money. I just want it to be there so when we need to help family, we can without any sort of concern. And when we first sat down and really wrote out our goals like years ago at an event in Portland, we wrote that we want to be able to give money to Perfect Pals, a cat shelter we feel that we want to support. There's so many things that I'm passionate about that I would love to be able to support financially. And that's the kind of freedom that I want, is to be able to, like Julie said, be around family and friends and have the money to do whatever we want with them. That's really what gets me inspired. I love helping people, and being able to help people create that with their family, that's exciting to me. Matt?
Well, hi guys, for one, since you guys didn't see me off camera. Just like Chelsea said, and just like Julie said, the biggest thing you don't realize yet, even if you're a health coach, if you're just getting started, even if you're an executive director and you just don't have clarity, figuring out what it is you want to create is the most important step you can take right now. I mean, just figure that out. If you haven't read Dr. A's new ebook, if you haven't taken a self-evaluation, I highly recommend you do that, because that's going to give you clarity. And we know when you're confused or you don't know what you want, we tend to do nothing. I mean, that's just how we operate. Mm-hmm. So figure that out for yourself and really go for it. Plug in with your mentor, plug in with the tools, and you can create whatever you want using Take Shape for Life as the vehicle. And the great thing is once you realize that it's that simple, just take this, see what you're doing. Once you implement it into your business, it becomes the same process. It's just as easy. And that goes right into duplication, and that goes right into helping people with what they're missing. So for me, my biggest reason why the whole time, whether it been my health journey, becoming a coach, has been that freedom. Mm-hmm. When I started this, I didn't even realize that was still a reality. Having time freedom, money freedom, whatever freedom you can imagine, just like Chelsea said, no worries. Having zero worries is like the ultimate goal. And being able to help other people realize that that's possible now in our high stress, high anxiety, high anything environment, we can really take a step back and realize we have control, and that there's a process and someone willing to help you get there. And that's been the most amazing thing about Take Shape for Life, becoming a health coach, starting this journey in the first place. You never really know where you're going to get. And that's, just like Julie said, it's from that personal development. You don't even see it coming. And you're like, oh, wow, I could do with some growth. And then the next thing you know, you're getting plugged into a system and you're like, So this is possible. This is a dream I gave up a long time ago on, but I can move forward, and that dream, I didn't have to give up on it, and I've relived that dream, and now it's time to move on to the next one.
Okay, so Anna, would you like to go next? I can't hear you. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
My vision and dream is not quite that large and profound because I am still trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the reason why I found Take Shape for Life and got on board here is because I'm looking for something where I can use my passion and talent to run a business and not have to work another job, to be in business for myself, and in the process help other people, which is always what I've had a passion for doing. And I've always had a passion for diet and physical fitness and health, being healthy and happy. So that's it.
Okay, so let's expand on that a little bit. Do I have permission to coach you a little bit here?
Oh, sure.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so when you picture yourself with a thriving business and you're your own boss, you feel fantastic because you're healthy and you've got some financial and time freedom. What does that look like in your world when you picture that?
Well, my husband can work from anywhere, and so we'd really like to be able to go somewhere and work in the winter where it's nice and warm, and then come back up here and stay in the summer and be able to work and have freedom to travel and roam the world.
So travel is your big hot button.
Yeah.
So would you go different places every year, or would you go to the same place? What would you do?
Well, our dream has always been to go to Costa Rica in the winter. And actually we're looking at a boat that we can live aboard up here in the summer. So we have
wow.
to live up here. Yeah. So that's my goal, and I want to be able to support that. I'm ready.
Yay. So do you see how what you just described to me, I'm picturing something much different than when you first started out saying, I just want a business. So now I'm picturing something much bigger, and I can see you traveling to Costa Rica, coming back, having a boat already on the water and stocked, and being able to take your son with you wherever you go. You're remote, you're helping people, you're fulfilled, you got your feet kicked up on the boat, you're talking on the phone with your favorite clients or coaches, you're doing all those things that, you're able to go on a walk midday because you chose to, and you just have total control of your time and money and your family and your freedom and your travel.
Right.
That is what we need to keep out in front of you, because when you're just talking about the business, it doesn't move me. It won't move you either. Because you've got to keep the bigger picture out in front of you. And that's what's going to be the difference between making 5 more phone calls or saying, forget it, I'm sitting on the couch or whatever. I mean, I'm
Gotcha.
not saying that. But that just building the business is not going to be your driver.
Mm-hmm.
But that boat and that travel and being with your son, and I can totally picture you on your boat in the sunshine on the phone with your phone holders.
You do.
I love it. So do you see the difference of that, where we started and where we are now with that why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a really good exercise to be able to do that with your clients and your coaches as well, because we don't know we have to know what's possible and really dig and keep asking questions. So what color is your boat going to be in? What's the name of it?
Boy, I don't know. We'll see what comes our way. I don't like to change names of boats. It's not good luck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. And so is it, it's a motorboat?
It's a liveaboard yacht, like a trawler.
Yeah. So it's not a sailboat.
No.
It's a motorboat.
We've decided on a trawler, yeah.
Yeah. And you'd probably be cruising around Roach Harbor and all the San Juan Islands.
Probably, yeah. Or,
Yeah.
maybe, go spend, 2 weeks in Orcas and a week at Susha and, just travel around.
So think how many places in the world you're going to make new friends, and you'll have health coaches all over the place.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you will. The only way that you cannot succeed in this business is by quitting.
Right. You told me that earlier today.
Some people it takes longer than others, but the only way you fail is to quit.
Okay.
So, okay, Bridget, are you in a spot where you can unmute yourself and tell us what you're thinking about?
I am. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, right now, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I am facing a couple of health challenges, but I'm sure that those are going to be resolved shortly. So with that being said, my long-term goals for my business, I think one of my whys hasn't changed at all. Excuse me. It's to bring my husband home because he's been like supporting us for the last 30 years and going on 30 years. So my dream is, of course, financial freedom for him to be able to come home and not have to work. So that's still one of my huge whys that I have. And then the other two things that have recently really cemented for me were I would like to develop, and this is eventually like a long-term goal, is to develop 2 different charities. The first one, and I don't think it's too lofty, is to end world hunger. I really think it can be done in my lifetime. So sorry, I'll make this quick. And then the second one is I want to develop a program, not just in school, but after school, to develop self-esteem in children. So that's all I can say right now. I'm losing my voice. But anyway, so I'm going to mute myself back, and I'm really enjoying the call. Okay, I'm muting.
Thank you so much, Bridget. It sounds like you've really got some specific things right out in front of you that mean a lot to you, and you'll want to keep building the details of those so that you can get closer and closer. Do you realize that with every goal that you have, the more detailed you picture it, the more your mind sees it as real, and the more you will really see yourself in that life. So I challenge all of us to take what we want and really detail it out and get very specific of what it is you want, what those charities are going to look like and consist of, and what that travel is going to be, and specifically what months would you go, and that kind of thing. It's super important to get those details in your head. And with that, we're running out of time, but I did want to touch on kind of wrap a pretty bow around this. And that is, what are you doing in your business, the activities, scheduling your time to make sure that you are moving towards those goals and not just doing busy work. There's so many tools in this business and websites and this and that we can really get caught up in doing all of that. And it's great for learning your craft, but it is not what makes you grow your business. What does is acquiring and supporting clients, acquiring and supporting health coaches. Those are the main things that we do in this business, and that consists of building relationships and promoting events. Those 2 items. And what that consists of is being on the phone, hands-on, calling people and getting excited about talking to people and connecting with them and finding out what it is they want. And if they've ever even thought about it, have they even ever thought about a 10-year plan? maybe let's up this retirement and not have to wait till you're 60 to retire. Things like that of what that could look like and what that would mean to you. Wonder if that was possible. And so, it's things like that that are really going to help you move your business forward. Chelsea, I know that you posted today about a phone call that you were excited about. Would you like to share that to wrap up the call?
Yes, and now I'm trying to remember which one I posted about, because I've done a follow-up, I think, every day since halfway through September, approximately. Usually Sundays I don't, but other than that, I've been connecting, following up, keeping notes every time I follow up. And just today, on the way home from an errand I had to run, I looked at my calendar before I started driving, and I thought, oh, I need to call these 2 people. And sometimes when I know somebody's like close to being ready, but they're like, give me another month, I put it on my calendar so I don't forget to call them in a month. And so on my calendar, I had 2 people I wanted to call. I left 2 voicemails, and one of them, it was off the hook, because I knew I'd called him at least 2 or 3 times, and he hadn't reached back. And so he texted me within the hour, because I gave him an off the hook, and he said, oh my gosh, I just got home from the hospital. My mom just had surgery. Don't stop calling me. Can you reach out in a week? And I said, yes. And I put it on my calendar. So I never assume that they're not ready. I just let them know that I'm not going to keep calling and bugging them. And they owe it, the people that really do want it will reach back. And I'm, at this point, there's so many people we're following up with that I have to be efficient with my time. And that's why Off the Hook is great, because then I can set it to the side, just keep on my newsletter, and 2 years down the line they'll probably reach out, because that's kind of what happens sometimes. So it's just been getting back into follow-up and really just keeping it so simple. How are you doing? What's been going on in your life? Hey, last time we talked, you mentioned all these health goals that you had. How was that going? Like, just being interested in them and not blabbing off about all this stuff that they could come do with me. And the only time I might call people and invite them, but I really want to let them know why I'm inviting them. Hey, you mentioned you had 50 pounds to lose. Hey, there's an event right in your area. Join us. And just find out other people that are like doing the same thing. So it's just, I'm keeping it simple. And that for me is like a new thing. So that's kind of, I don't even remember what I posted about follow-up. It's just been really good stuff happening. So.
Well, with that brings me to our event. It's really important that you guys realize that the training, the health coach training, you can get all kinds of training online. The reason we do these events is to build your business. And that building your business is the first hour and a half of our training. And that is the presentation. And, how exciting. My guest that came on Saturday is joining our team tomorrow. And, she's super excited, and people need that community. They need to know that they're not going to be in this alone. And if you invite people to the presentation, they will see our community. They will see that we care about them and that we're all there to help them. And that's what moves a lot of people towards believing that if you can do it, maybe I could do it, whether it's their health journey or the health coaching or both. So with that, do we have any questions before we end the call tonight? No? Okay, so your next step is to expand your share list and get on the phone and really, really try to get as many people to our event it's just a couple weeks away. So let's really, really try hard to, my goal is always to have 5 people. It doesn't always work out that way, but we should have at least 50% of the room as guests for all of us to invite. And that will help us with the promotion that they're having of 5 clients a month as well. So let's get out there and get America healthy, guys. Good night.